Narcissists can be absolutely heinous. There's no question about that. But what are some of the tactics that they use to manipulate and punish their victims? By the end of this video, you're going to know exactly what they are and how to spot them so that you won't get sucked in. Hi, I'm Rebecca Zung, top 1% attorney and the best-selling author of the books Negotiate Like You Matter and Breaking Free, a step-by-step divorce guide. And I've helped so many thousands of people to go from those lives of trauma, drama, chaos, the lives of living in a world with narcissists. And I've helped them with step-by-step guidance on how to escape, break free, and create new lives and new beginnings and new futures. And I do the same thing for you in these videos. So if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and that way you'll get notified when I upload new videos and when I go live and do special events and all that sort of thing. So let's talk about the tactics that narcissists use to manipulate and punish their victims. So the first thing that they do to even be able to be put in a position of being able to manipulate and punish their victims is they love bomb. And I talk a lot more about love bombing in my video on love bombing, so check that out if you want. But really what it is they are extremely charismatic. One of the hallmarks of narcissists is they are very likable to the outside world. They're like the greatest salesmen on earth in a lot of ways. They are extremely intelligent. They are masters at reading people. So right from the beginning, they are reading you to see how they can best kind of worm their way into your lives and put themselves in a position to be able to do things like this. Because it's not like they come along being abusive. You would never have gotten into that relationship with them if they just came on that way. They come off seeming perfect for you. And even when you're not in a romantic relationship with these people, maybe it's just a business relationship, they still come off as if they were like a gift from heaven. Like you can't even believe how wonderful this person is. You know, if it's in business, they are the perfect business partner for you. They have all the right contacts. They can make all the right introductions. They can put you in incredible places, and you will elevate your career by being with them. So that's that. And then, you know, if it's a romantic relationship, obviously they're perfect for you in every way. They have the perfect job. They take care of you. They say how amazing you are. If you're a guy, you're the most handsome thing they've ever seen, a total Adonis. If you are a woman, then you're the most beautiful woman they've ever seen. They can't believe how perfect you are for them. They've never had another soulmate like this. They've never even been in love before until you came along. I mean, whatever they need to say in order to suck you in to be. And so that's really one of the first ways that they manipulate and punish to start being even in a position to manipulate and punish their victims is that love bomb stage. The next thing that you'll notice, and these are in no particular order at all, but one of the ways that they manipulate and punish their victims is by ghosting them. So now all of a sudden you can't get in touch with them. You know, they've been texting you for days on end, 20,000 times a day. And now when you want to call them out on something, or you want them for something, or you need them for something, now all of a sudden they can't be found. They aren't there. And then when you question them on it, it was, oh, I was busy. How dare you? I'm working, or something like that. Or if you're calling them out on something that, maybe that, you are questioning them on. Maybe they're speaking to somebody else that they shouldn't be. They've been particularly flirty or something like that. Then, they'll start ghosting you. Like they'll just totally ignore you. And that's one of the ways that they punish their victims. And if you want to know more about ghosting, check out my 101 series, my Narcissism 101 series. I have tons of videos in there about all the different terminology that you need to know, and ghosting is one of those videos, so we'll make sure that we drop a link to that below as well. Another thing that they will try to do is they will start trying to make you jealous. Sometimes this is called triangulation. Sometimes they just are lining up flying monkeys to be against you, but they're talking to other people. They're trying to make it seem like they have a better relationship with other people, or these other people are better than you in some way. They're starting to put you down. They're starting this like little subtle devaluing starts. And if you want to know more about devaluing, check out my video on devaluing. But this is where the subtle devaluing starts, where you start to go, gosh, that didn't feel right. That didn't seem right. And a lot of times, especially with covert narcissists, and there's a whole bunch more on this in my video on the covert passive-aggressive narcissists, who are my personal ones that I hate the most, because I've had to deal with them in my own life and fell prey to a couple of them in my own life, which I never will again because I know so much about narcissism now. But one of the things that they do is like these little subtle drip, drip, drip things that are so small that you like, do I even say anything about this? Or maybe I'm making too much of it. Maybe I'm just going crazy. It's oftentimes death by 1,000 cuts, where you just think, well, that didn't seem right. Or maybe they are just, talking to this person because they have a work relationship with them, or because they're trying to build a better relationship with our neighbors or our friends. And maybe I am making too much of it. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. Or maybe I'm being overly jealous, or, you start questioning yourself as to whether or not you're kind of blowing it out of proportion, because that's what they'll try to make it seem like you're doing, is blowing it out of proportion. And the next thing that they do to manipulate and punish their victims is gaslighting. And I have a whole video on gaslighting. And this is something that all narcissists do. And they do it, by the way, not just to you, but they kind of gaslight everybody. And that is, it's a huge way that they get along in the world. And that is like, even though you're looking at evidence and you see facts of something, they basically, and what conversation you had, they make it seem like that's not what you're seeing, that's not what you're looking at, that's not what you heard, that's not how it went down, you're remembering it wrong, you are taking something out of context. You are, even if you have an email or something. I mean, this is one of the things that happened in my relationship with one of the narcissists I was dealing with. It was, even though I had an email that said, this is what the conversation was, and mine was in a business setting, the person came back and was like, oh, we talked about this, and you agreed to blah, blah, blah. And even though the email didn't even say that, but, they just will say, well, but that's a conversation that we had, or whatever. You agreed to that. And of course, it's something you would never agree to. But, you start to slowly lose your mind. And that's what happens with gaslighting. You just are starting to slowly lose your mind. And if this is exactly what you have seen in your relationship with the narcissist, I want to see an exactly in the comments. Just give me the word exactly in the comments. And the next thing that they do is they go straight from degrading and insulting you to love bombing you again. And sometimes this is called hoovering. And it's especially, you see this like during the birth of the smear campaign, during the discard phase, whether you're discarding or they're discarding. And sometimes they start this long before the actual discard happens, because they're either expecting you to discard them eventually, or they're expecting to discard you eventually. But they go from this heinous beast of a string of insults and the gaslighting and the intimidation tactics and all of these manipulation tactics that, you know, I talked about, the passive aggressiveness, on and on and on, to, oh, but, you know, we've always been able to get along, we can work this out, or even if it's we can come to an agreement. You know, when you're in the middle of a divorce, all of a sudden they become your best friend. All of a sudden things are happening that are completely confusing you, and they do that again to manipulate you, because they want to get you away from your lawyer, or they want to get you away from your therapist, or they want to get you away from whoever it is that they think now has some other form of control over you. And why do they do that? First, yes, of course, they want you to do what they want you to do. But it all comes back to narcissistic supply, which is the holy grail for narcissists. Everything they do is driven by that narcissistic supply. It's like the rat in the maze that's going for that cheese. That's exactly what they're going for all the time. And one of the things I say about narcissists is, even though they are absolutely the most horrible people to deal with on the planet, they are actually very simple to understand. And once you get them, once you figure out that everything that they're doing is to keep as much narcissistic supply as they can possibly get, and you're just part of that scheme and you're part of that manipulation, and if you are in their zone of world and you even could possibly continue to be a source of supply, they're going to keep you around. So when you're going to negotiate with the narcissist, that's one of the things that you need to remember the most, is that everything that they do is driven by narcissistic supply. So this is by no means a comprehensive list of all of the things that they do to manipulate and punish their victims. I mean, certainly in a divorce setting, they do all kinds of things like weaponize the court system, use children as pawns, ignore court orders, ignore requests to produce, not produce financial documents, on and on and on. Intimidation, threats of violence, lying, stalking, all kinds of things I've seen in the divorce cases, which they do even in dissolution of business settings or dissolution of business partner settings. They act the same way that they do in regular life, only on steroids and 1,000 times worse. So if you're getting ready to negotiate with the narcissist, you need to get my free Crush My Negotiation prep worksheet. It's basically the antidote to the Holy Grail. It's the garlic to the vampire. It's the kryptonite to Superman. That is what you need, and it's totally free. So just go to winmynegotiation.com and grab it. And if you like this video, give me a like, give it a share if you really think other people could use this information, which anybody who's dealing with narcissists can. So give it a share. Make sure to drop me that comment. Let me know that you were here, or also say exactly, or let us know what you're dealing with. And if you want more support, make sure to join my free private Facebook group. It's called Narcissist Negotiators with Rebecca Zung. And we'll make sure to drop links to all this stuff below. So thanks so much for stopping by. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Subscribe, hit that notification bell. Remember that today is a great day to start negotiating your best life. I'll see you in the next video.